How are you doing mentally, brother? I know after the last fight, you'd kind of made a post on Instagram that you'd quoted MGK and Youngblood. You said, watch me take a good thing and fuck it all up in one night. So how's the head coming into this week?
Yeah, it's not only is that a tune, it's a toe tapper, but yep, it kind of summed up my experience then. We went back to back in a fight camp as a middleweight. We'd never done that before. Going back to back as a light heavyweight is absolutely fine because you're not cutting as much weight. But being a middleweight and having to recut after a few months of already making that cut, we didn't factor that in, and it had negative effects on us. Testosterone was low. We struggled to keep him up. You know what I'm saying? He was a little bit limp. But now you can hang a duffel coat off him. So moving forward, we know that we can't take back-to-back fight camps. We know that, and if we do, it has to be as a middleweight, then a light heavyweight. We can't strip all our natural resources of our body.
And I mean, did you take any sort of like good things out of it? Because you get a guy like Caio after, and I mean, guys are still calling you out. I think Joe Pyfer before his last fight was calling you out. So is it still a good thing to know that everybody's like, you know what, I still want to fight Paul Craig?
Yeah, I think it's people feel that it's an easier option if you fight a Paul Craig. Most times I haven't really showcased my striking, and when I do showcase it, people are like, this guy can strike. And I think that's what people want me to turn up. I genuinely believe that over the last 2 years in the development of my striking, I'm a far better fighter than I ever have been. And guys calling me out is dangerous for them. And I'll take any fight in any given night, but just give me enough prep and I'll mess MD up.
And how's the backflips coming?
Oh, the backflips, that's one of these experiences when you say something and then you actually hear it come out your mouth. For everybody that doesn't know, I've done a backflip, landed flush on my face on stage doing a live show. What made it even better is everybody's got mobile phones nowadays and just filmed it, and I just doubled down with it. I made a mistake, had too much alcohol, jeans were too tight, but we live and learn.
So we're going to see one in Rio?
We get a knockout victory, I will do a backflip and I will land it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Brazil. I would like to know what's up with the hair. Well, how did you come up with this?
Straight up, that sounded a bit like, what's up your hair? I thought it actually looked pretty good.
No, you look good, man.
Thank you. It's like one of these things, as being a fighter, you try and shed the old version of yourself. We're always looking to develop and become a better version of yourself. And this was just me mixing stuff up. This was me looking at guys like Charles Oliveira, who, with his blonde hair, is unstoppable. Brunson, these kind of guys, and just mixing stuff up.
Perfect. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
And I would like to question you. Here in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, we have a lot of football clubs like Fluminense, like Botafogo, Flamengo, and we have some fighters supporting each team here in Brazil. I've seen a video of somebody from your crew with the Fluminense shirt.
Yeah,
Are you rooting for Fluminense right now?
I'm going Flamengo. I went and got a new shirt, so I was here last January and picked up my shirt, and the first thing I done when I come off that plane was go to the mall and catch a new shirt. So I'm sorry, man.
It's okay, thank you.
No more questions for you.
Just one, just one over here. I was seeing you were speaking with TalkSport MMA, and you were describing your opponent as like a young lion, athletic, hits heavy, but also you've really built a career on a lot of upsets. All factors considered, do you feel poised to put on one of your better performances of your career?
Yes. One of the things, I'm 36 years old. I'm coming into my prime, and that shows because how many fighters coming into their prime decide to move down a weight class? That's only through discipline. That's only through the determination that I've got to be something in this sport. So yep, he is a young lion, but I genuinely believe this guy's still got a lot more to give in this sport. The best is yet to come, and I genuinely believe that on Saturday people are going to take notice of my striking. It's something that we have been working on, as I said, for 2 years, and it's coming to fruition each fight, and it's looking slightly better. So this is the night where people are going to go, oh, Paul Craig, he's a legitimate threat within this division.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people make a lot of the, intense atmosphere as like the quote unquote away player in Brazil. But in some interviews, I've seen you articulate the fighting in Glasgow almost had more pressure. And you fought in Brazil before. So just all factors considered, like, just is this one you're particularly, I guess, focused in on and fired up for? Like, it seems like you're more focused on getting that first win in Brazil as opposed to like feeling that pressure of the quote unquote away player, as it were.
Third time I've been in Brazil. First time was against Shogun. Took the fight in 10 days' notice. Went to a draw. Had some great experiences in Sao Paulo. Then was lucky enough to come and fight Johnny Walker. Unlucky I didn't get that victory. Johnny Walker was one of the reasons we moved down the weight class, and we looked at him and went, he's a much bigger opponent than us. He is an outlier within the light heavyweight division. Can we be an outlier in the middleweight division with guys like Pereira being so big in this division? And that was the reason we moved down. I've been all over the world with the UFC, been in Australia fighting Australians, been in America fighting Americans. Fans get behind their own, and it doesn't matter if it's Brazil or if it's Mexico City. You're going to take some flack off the crowd if you're the away fighter. One of the things I do is a lot of visualization. So I visualize it. I've made that walk so many times. I know what it's like to experience that noise. I know what it's like to experience that hatred. It's when you show me too much love is when I sort of crumble. But I'm looking forward to hearing the crowd. I'm looking forward to, as a fan, being in the back after my fight, listening to the crowd when Jose Aldo walks out. Like, this guy's a legend within this sport. Like, I see the smile on your face because you're having the exact same thing as me. Like, I get goosebumps thinking about this. So I'm excited to be part of this card and hear that roar when Aldo walks out.
Absolutely. And just the last one for me, because I was seeing in one of your pre-fight interviews, you were talking about how your luggage got lost on the flight over and you had to like rock the same shirt for a few days. Have we gotten in a shopping trip in the interim?
Yep, we managed to go to the mall the next day, but it was one of these things that were out of my control. Rather than missing the flight, it made more sense to be on the flight, and the luggage didn't actually quite make it on time. So it was 3 days of wearing the same underwear. But you can get a few days out of them as long as you wait properly.
Thanks for the insights, Paul.
You spoke about preferring to fight on enemy territory, let's say, instead of like crumbling at home. But having said all that, you have fought all over the world. But would you like to change that a little bit, knowing that there's a UFC event, pay-per-view coming up to Europe in Manchester? Would you like to maybe be part of that event?
Yeah, always love to fight in the UK. With regards to saying it was Glasgow for me. I was inexperienced. I'd never fought in Glasgow as an MMA fighter, and then the love and warmth that these guys showed me was just too much for me. But with regards to fighting in places like London and Manchester, I would love to be involved in that card. It's going to be huge. The only issue we're having is this time difference, and the time difference for me to make that switch from being a middleweight to being a light heavyweight. If I get the opportunity to fight on that card, it would 100% need to be a light heavyweight. I can't keep reducing my caloric intake and keep just running on red all the time. I need to recover. I need to rebuild so that I can be the Paul Craig that I want to showcase to the fans.
Mm-hmm. You spoke about Jose Aldo. What's your greatest memory of his career, or your favorite fight of him?
Yeah, it was in Rio. The knockout with the knee. He's up against the cage. He's pressed back, he breaks the wrist and spins round and drops one of their biggest knees. And I'm sure it's Chad Mendes. Boom, flatlines him. Just to be like, this is what 10 years they've been coming to Rio, coming to this venue, and to be part of that's like incredible. When you think about some of the fights we've seen, Anderson Silva's up kick, Barbosa's spinning wheel kick, to be in the same building as where these guys have produced some of the greatest knockouts of all time. It's part of my dream.
And just final one for me about your next fight against Caio Barralho. He said a lot about that. His mantra for this fight is that he's gonna knock you out. What's your prediction for Saturday?
I mean, I like LL Cool J as well, but he's no LL Cool J, and he goes the distance, and I don't go the distance. And if I do go the distance, I go out in my shield. So if he believes that he's going to knock me out, then I'll take it. My game plan that my team has come up with it works so well, and I have a very good experience against southpaws, and I believe that it's just going to be a good night to be a Paul Craig fan.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Enjoy your day, guys.